The kingdom of British football is being shaken by two simultaneous waves: the imminence of a historic title for Arsenal's Gunners and the announcement of the end of the greatest managerial cycle in modern Premier League history. Welcome to 12th League Daily, the sharp daily roundup of football news. It is a shockwave splashed across the front pages of every sports section in the UK, starting with the Daily Express Sport, which runs with a definitive and solemn headline: End of an Era. The paper states without ambiguity that the legend Pep Guardiola will ultimately bring his glorious reign at City to an end at the conclusion of the current season. After 10 highly successful years and an incredible total of 20 trophies collected, including the latest FA Cup won last weekend against Chelsea, the Catalan coach believes it is time to take a well-earned break before setting off on a new challenge. The Guardian Sport follows suit, softening the tone slightly, with Guardiola expected to leave at the end of season, while confirming that circles close to the club expect an imminent announcement, despite the citizens' leadership remaining completely silent. The financial and contractual details are laid out by the Times Sport, which recalls that the Catalan still has 12 months left on his revised contract signed in November 2024, but that a mutual agreement would allow him to leave the ship a year early. Who will succeed the unshakable one? All three papers agree on one name: Enzo Maresca. The former Chelsea boss, free since leaving the Blues in January, is being presented as the priority target. The Times also reveals that the city's hierarchy has already approached the Italian coach twice as they prepare for a transition that the club's communications team had been quietly shaping for months. Fabrizio Romano is already reporting a complete verbal agreement between Enzo Maresca and the Manchester board. While City deal with their existential crisis, Arsenal are marching to glory. Kai Havertz's face, transformed by joy, is splashed across every English front page. The German striker is the national hero in North London. The Times leads with the sober headline, "Havertz puts Arsenal on the brink of title glory," while the Daily Express goes for a sharper pun, "Kai High Gunners edge closer to title." Thanks to a looping header in the first half from a Bukayo Saka corner, Havertz delivered a crucial and nervy 1-0 win for Mikel Arteta's men against Burnley. The maths is simple. With a 5-point lead, the pressure is now entirely on the Sky Blues. The Guardian sums it up perfectly with its main headline, "Over to you, City. Havertz winner piles pressure on title rivals." City now play for survival in this title race this evening away to Bournemouth. A slip-up from Guardiola's men would officially hand Arsenal the English crown. Mikel Arteta, meanwhile, is more than delighted with his team.
Extremely happy. There is one more game to win, and we can become champions after all the work that we've done. I'm very happy with first of all, again, with the atmosphere that we have created in this stadium. It was magical from the beginning, the reception that we got outside the stadium, the energy that they have provided, and then, the performance, especially in the first half. I think we played so well. Unfortunately, we didn't score more goals, and 1-0 is always nervy and tight, but really happy.
A darker note for British supporters appears at the bottom of the Guardian's pages in a piece by Matt Hughes. It is an economic revolution. For the first time in 34 years, and since the competition's rebranding, the Champions League final will not be shown free to air in the UK. Rights holder TNT Sports has chosen to break with the historic tradition of free access and place the entire event behind a paid subscription, notably on HBO Max, much to UEFA's dismay. Crossing the Pyrenees, we arrive on the Iberian Peninsula, where the news is just as hot. In Catalonia, the mood is of stability and ambition. Barcelona's two major dailies, Sport and Mundo Deportivo, run exactly the same exclusive photograph on their front pages. President Laporta, Vice President Rafa Just, and German coach Hansi Flick all smiling, holding up a Blaugrana shirt bearing the number 2028. Sport proclaims the arrival of the Proyecto Flick following the German coach's contract extension until June 2028, with an option for a further year through to 2029.
Barca is more than a club, and for me, it's a pleasure to continue this journey. So we give everything also the next year to maybe to that the dream comes true, And this is our goal, to win more titles, maybe also the Champions League. We are working for that.
However, that joy is tinged with a contrasting note. There is terrible medical news concerning young star Fermín López. Suffering from a fracture of the 5th metatarsal in his right foot, the midfielder must undergo surgery today and is already ruled out for the World Cup. Fermín se queda sin Mundial, a painful blow for the Catalan talent who has enjoyed a very fine club season. In Madrid, the atmosphere is completely different. Raw emotion fills the front pages of Marca and AS. Both newspapers pay a moving tribute to Dani Carvajal, who has announced his official departure from Real Madrid after 23 years of absolute loyalty to the club. AS opts for a striking front page, showing the right-back lifting the Champions League trophy above his head under the headline Adios al Gran Capitán. The paper recalls the towering numbers of a legendary player, 450 matches played and a monumental haul of 27 trophies. It is also underlined that he was the last member of the squad to have witnessed the laying of the first stone of the Valdebebas training centre. Marca offers an equally impressive layout, surrounding the player with the silhouettes of his 27 major trophies, under the headline Se va con, he leaves with. The detail of his trophy cabinet is staggering: 6 Champions Leagues, 4 Ligas, 2 Copa del Rey, 4 Spanish Super Cups, 5 UEFA Super Cups, 6 Club World Cups. The player leaves with a clear conscience. "I'm leaving in peace, knowing that I kept my word," he says, while a tribute will be paid to him next Saturday during the match against Athletic Bilbao. To offset this loss, AS confirms in a subheading that the defence does at least have one good news, with Antonio Rudiger's imminent contract extension for another season. We end our European tour in Italy, where the Transalpine press is split between exclusive declarations of loyalty and an absolutely tangled managerial soap opera. La Gazzetta dello Sport serves up a magnificent front page dedicated to Inter Milan captain Lautaro Martínez. The 28-year-old, photographed beaming with the Scudetto trophy, gives an exclusive confessional interview under a crystal-clear headline, Inter per sempre, Inter forever. The Argentine champion pledges eternal loyalty to the Nerazzurri in words of rare force in modern football. "I will never leave here, they'll have to chase me out. This double is for my grandmother." He does admit, however, that he went through dark moments last summer to the point of wanting to walk away from everything. But today he once again reaffirms his deep attachment to the Milanese club. If things are calm at Inter, then it is absolute storm conditions among their rivals. Tutto Sport and Corriere dello Sport devote their main headlines to the major internal crisis shaking Juventus and Napoli. Tutto Sport runs with a tense visual duel between Luciano Spalletti and French executive Damian Comolli under the exclamatory headline Lucio Comolli, Resa dei Conti, Showdown. The two men's views are completely opposed, and there is effectively no relationship between them. Spalletti has used the club's precarious situation, with Champions League qualification still in danger, to demand immediate clarification from Exor chief John Elkann about the sporting project and the exact role of the general director. Corriere dello Sport sums up the explosive situation with a single word plastered across its front page: ribaltone. The paper explains that John Elkann holds the keys to the future of the old lady. If the club fails to qualify for the Champions League, it would face a €40 million shortfall, which could accelerate the departure of the current leadership structure. Giorgio Chiellini, speaking on behalf of the club, also stated, "Let's wait until the end of the season before making any decisions." This huge Italian shake-up is opening the door to unexpected developments. Corriere dello Sport reports that Antonio Conte has just agreed a mutual termination with his contract with Aurelio De Laurentiis at Napoli, e Conte si libera. La Gazzetta dello Sport says the Italian public is overwhelmingly voting for Conte to take charge of the Nazionale, while Napoli are now said to prefer Maurizio Sarri as the man to lead their rebuild. After 2 seasons in Naples, Conte leaves behind a more than satisfactory sporting record. In his very first season, the Italian coach led Napoli to the Serie A title. This season, he loses the crown, but once again qualifies the club for next season's Champions League. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. See you soon for the next episode of 12 The League Daily.